Introducing Mario Kart Super Circuit, only on Game Boy Advance. 4 can play off one game pack. Rated E for everyone.
It's the battle to end all battles. It won't be broadcast. It won't be on pay TV. It won't be in any arena. It's Super Smash Brothers, and it's only on N64.
Do you know how to use one of these?
GoldenEye. Load a rumble pack and see how it feels when 007 meets N64.
Yeah. We're getting calls about a wild party over here. Know anything about it? I didn't think so. Which one of you jokers goes by the name Mario?
It's me!
Could you step outside, please?
Welcome to Mario Party, where you and 3 friends battle it out all night long. With 6 adventure boards and 50 mini-games, this party's just getting going. Mario Party, only on Nintendo 64. But it's me, Mario!
Yeah, tell it to the judge.
Get in or get out.
You know who lives in the third dimension. You know who is in control. You know who has 4 times the action. You know who feels the freedom. You know who breaks the barriers. You know who stands out from the crowd. You know who everybody's after. You know the games of Nintendo 64. Get mad or get out.
A mysterious artifact. An alien ring, lost for thousands of years. Marooned on its surface. Hunted by an undaunted foe. You are mankind's most advanced warrior. Equipped to battle indoors and out. Trained to pilot any vehicle. Skilled in all weapons, human and alien. You are humanity's final hope. Halo. Combat Evolved.
Action!
It's WCW versus NWO World Tour. GamePro calls it one of the fall's hottest titles. Game Informer says it's the end-all, be-all of wrestling, featuring over 20 of WCW's and NWO's top wrestlers, a 4-player battle royal mode, and up to 40 moves per wrestler, including signature moves and foreign objects, all on Nintendo 64. Call now, 1-800-WCW-8661, or send $69.95 to the address on your screen. Also available wherever video games are sold.
Whoa, what's up? I defaulted straight to you guys. I forget you guys run the
up?
show. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. First of all, I would like to pat myself on the back because I didn't mute
Doug,
my
we can't hear you.
microphone.
Just joking. I know.
Nice try. Nice try.
I know.
Because I'm notorious for doing that, especially because it's allergy season and I've been sneezing like crazy. So I'm trying not to like sneeze
This
into my
isn't
microphone.
a joke, though, but we can't see you.
That's true. We
You
can hear
can't
you,
see.
but
You
we
can't see
cannot
my pretty
you.
face.
No,
We cannot.
I
Well,
see a
that's
nice
interesting.
purple brick wall.
That's very interesting because
Yep.
I can see myself
In the live stream?
in
I
the
guess
live
we
stream.
just don't get to see you.
What about now?
Oh,
Now I see you.
Yeah,
It's
see,
It's acting like there's 3.
there we go. All right,
More reviews.
buttons. Technology's hard.
You're gone again for us, but oh well.
Oh my goodness! What?
As long as everyone else can see you, I guess it's fine.
No one else can see him though. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Right, there you are. You got it.
He's back. But now we can't hear you. But now we can't. I'm actually being serious. No joking. No joking. We cannot hear you.
No, okay.
Can't make this up. Can't make it up. So, anyways,
Welcome to Adventures in YouTube Streaming, where nothing
Yeah.
works ever. Tonight we're talking about
Because-
multiplayer games. Oh, there you are.
so you
That's what
just need 2 of you here. Then it works
Apparently.
perfect. Your invisible self and you, then we're good to go.
If only there was, like I said, there's no rhyme or reason why that's doing that, and I can't like back out because
But
I'm the host.
let me throw this at you. Can you hear the Halo song without thinking of Ace Ventura? Oh,
No, alrighty then. Yeah, no,
Possible.
I absolutely
Every time.
cannot. What about now? Let me just.
Well, now we got you and your logo down there. I mean, I'm cool with that.
Mhm. Speaking of which, get your
Oh.
Cool Toy merch today. We actually have a pretty sweet Cool Toy shirt.
Wait,
It looks just like this.
yeah, but it has the cool toy
It does.
logo there.
Weird. It's like tying my audio into a different source for no particular reason. So you can hear me, yes?
We can hear you
can.
now, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, but you can't as soon as that little black box with my logo goes away, correct?
Yes. When that goes away, your
That-
audio goes away.
That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
It makes sense what you think about it.
Well, let's try not to think about it.
Inferno, appreciate it. Even though,
Yeah,
this is
that-
one of those shirts where the print is like way off. You know what I'm talking about? It like
Mhm.
basically just goes. It's awful.
Oh, is it like real
Yes.
crooked?
One of those
Can
things
you-
you're like, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Weird.
Oh.
It's I can't separate them. I don't know what the deal is. So,
I like it. I like 2 Cool Toys.
I
Yeah.
don't. I
Perfect.
Try to-
Hey, while we're figuring it out though,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Let's just go
Yeah.
ahead and tell everyone.
there it is.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
will be giving this away tonight. Technically, you're not going to get it today because that's like impossible
Let's send it
unless you
through
live
the
like right
stream.
next door. But yeah, but we're going to be picking someone, a lucky winner. We picked the Switch because really, out of the modern day consoles, this is really the one that has the most modern
Graphics and
well,
power.
Yeah, exactly. No, but for real, as
No,
far as multiplayer
no,
goes,
yeah.
like local, this is the one
Yeah,
that really
yeah.
still doing.
Since today's
Mario
topic
Party.
is the glory days of multiplayer, as you'll probably find out during the stream, it's the multiplayers. It's not going away. It's just shifted to
Online
online
of
and
it.
not as convenient. But the Nintendo Switch, it still has plenty of things that you can just sit on a couch and play with your friends.
Yep.
And that was
Take
some
off your
great
Joy-Con.
times.
You do that all the time, right? You take
Take
one
each
off.
Joy-Con, yeah.
You never do that, do you? Do you use 2 Pro controllers whenever you're
No.
doing local, or do you use 2
Sure, it
Joy-Cons?
depends on the game.
So you do still do the whole slide off one to hand to someone and use the other?
Really? Because that was going to be something I asked. Because like I remember early on in the Nintendo Switch advertising, they had like the put it in tablet mode, sit it on the
Yep.
desk, and everybody's holding the world's smallest Joy-Con
Yeah.
as an individual Like, I don't care if you're a praying mantis. That is not ergonomically friendly for anybody.
It depends on the game because, like, was it Mario Party Super? Not Mario Party Superstars, but Mario Party or Super Mario Party.
There's only like 15
confusing.
Mario Parties.
Yeah.
So don't
It
worry.
was.
wow.
I think it was the first one actually released for Switch. I think it has to be a Joy-Con because there's a lot of like the whole like, oh, move it and drop the thing and flip the stake around and stuff like that. So those you have to have a Joy-Con to play it. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't work with the Pro
So
Controller.
they basically fit a Joy-Con play.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Well, I mean, since tonight's topic is multiplayer, it only makes sense that I have way too many windows open, and we've got
that's why we did this.
quad screen. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
play it off like
multiplayer
that.
view.
But
Yeah.
Maizen had the best suggestion. Trick is to get a hammer and bash your PC repeatedly, and
Works like a charm.
yeah, I'm pretty much there. But at this point, we're just going to give up and move on with the show. So yeah, like I said, tonight's topic, we're talking about multiplayer, the early days, the glory days, if you will. This live stream, We Grew Up Better, is where we sit on our high horse and look back with our super foggy bias glasses and talk about how everything that we grew up with is better than what you grew up with, unless you grew up with what we grew up with.
Right?
Sound about right?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so a couple of facts to get everything started. So we'll talk early multiplayer. So this is kind of going to be one of those things. It's a matter of perspective and subjective because people can always like split hairs. What constitutes as multiplayer? Technically, anything that's more than one person. So you can talk Pong being the first multiplayer game, or freaking chess, checkers. But we're talking about video games. Today is actually, honestly, a National Video Game too, or National Video Game Day too. One of those fake made up holidays. But the first online multiplayer game is credited to a game called Neverwinter Nights. Came out in 1991 for MS-DOS. Either one of you guys familiar? Heard of it? Anything?
Yeah, I actually have heard of that.
I don't know if
Ooh,
I have.
really?
I'm embarrassed now.
I remember it, but the name sounds really familiar. Like, is there a new Neverwinter game? I guess if
There's
newer
been a
one.
couple. Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of because I can tell you I probably haven't played Neverwinter
I'd have to
Nights
see the
on
gameplay.
MS-DOS.
Mhm.
I remember playing Oregon Trail on MS-DOS.
Didn't we all?
Yeah. Well, this is the amazing graphics that you got in 1991 for Neverwinter Nights. Turn-based action, some crazy adventures going on. Look at this guy. Poor guy's got a long nose, red beard, but he was going down. Look at that crazy multiplayer action. Look, so many people going on. But anyways, Neverwinter Nights combined several key facets: third-person view, RPG elements, Dungeons and Dragons type of thing, game hosting. Each server allotted for up to 96 players. So this is 1991, mind you.
That's
96 players, as well as a dungeon master. The game also included combat arena modules, persistent world modules. It lacked a global chat, but had individual chat rooms. Truly set the tone for online multiplayer games moving forward. So that's 1991.
It does look like Gauntlet.
Why'd you stop at
for
96?
now
At least round up to 100. You know what I mean? Just kidding. Yeah, it looks just like Gauntlet. I mean, different graphics. Yeah, that's what reminds me of.
So today's National Video Game Day, ? I guess I must be in a time warp because I forgot about Star Trek Day last week too. Yeah, I mean,
I think Talk Like a Pirate Day is coming up soon or something too.
Maizen says, cool toy logo needs to chime in. He's very quiet tonight. That's par for the course. He's a man of few words. Then, most notably, perhaps you've heard of this game. A little game called Doom. Came out in 93, 94. December 93, technically, but so we'll just call it 94. The original game launched with a LAN co-op and deathmatch mode, but the game released an online multiplayer update in 1996 that had deathmatch matchmaking service as developed with the company Dwango in Houston, Texas. Doom players also went on to eventually develop cheat codes for invulnerability, instant kills, weapon unlocks, and more. Not only was this a game a pioneer of online multiplayer, but it was also the game that kind of sparked the robust cheating and hacking movement that was going on in today's Call of Duty world, where everybody's scope cheating and instant kills and all this stuff. But you guys are familiar? You guys played Doom, right? Everybody played Doom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's for sure.
I remember having it Yeah, I remember having it on like Windows 95, and then I got it on my 32X for a while, and I remember it gave me like motion sickness for playing it for several hours. Yeah,
Yep, for sure.
something about that. Yeah, it was the magic combination. And then, of course, we have Age of Empires. The game originally launched in 1997, allowing for up to 8 simultaneous players. Microsoft itself supported the online multiplayer with their Microsoft Gaming Zone. But this game stands out amongst the masses as one of the first to use scenario builders. Users could create their own custom scenarios and then submit them for others to download. Players also found that they could modify data files and release unused units like a spaceship or manipulate gameplay mechanics. So it all comes back down to cheating. Everybody wants to cheat. Everybody wants to cheat. That's all they care about. It's like how can we get more gold? How can we build this empire? And how can we, take over the Mongolians? That's all it always boiled down to.
Man, I tell you what, that first game set the bar high with 96.
I pretty much. I mean,
It
it was all out. I mean, it went from 96. I mean, we're talking about a DOS game for crying out loud. Like you couldn't even click the icon to start the app. You had to hit the Command Enter launch game before you could get this going. So to think of something being able to hold 96 players over a potato can string modem network.
I don't know why I like that
crazy.
number too. 96. It's just like, what do you think about 94? We can do better. 95, 96.
Of course, there's somebody in the back that's like, couldn't make it 100, huh? You couldn't make it 100?
I know, 100%.
I was about to say it's divisible easily like 4 by 4, but I guess 100 would be 2.
Yep.
Yeah. Matt Astra says, love Age of Empires. The monster truck mod is always fun. So there you go. Talking about mods. Bringing in Bigfoot to conquer the Roman Empire. I mean, are you really gaming if you're not killing the Romans with monster trucks? Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. But anyways, after that, it was very early days of multiplayer. This little game I had for my Game Boy, perhaps you're familiar with it. If you're not, we'll go ahead and familiarize it real quick.
Hey, I'm Russell and I got Wayne here. What's up? And this new F1 race for Game Boy. Up to 4 guys can play each other at the same time. Whoa, major crash! Use the turbo, man.
Number 3's dusting him.
Each guy's got his own race. Whoa, right! In his own screen and his very own view of the race.
No, he's got what's quick? I'm asking.
I don't know what Wayne said was. I don't know what he said. Anyway, F1 race for Game Boy from Nintendo. 4-player adapter, things included. Game Boy sold separately.
Round up your posse and check it out.
I think it was only because our local Walmart had it clearanced, and we all kind of like told our parents, "Hey, we need to buy this."
Of this story because the volume is so loud on that.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I was just saying, like me and 2 other buddies in the neighborhood, we actually had this when we did the whole connected gameplay on our Game Boys. That was our earliest experience for multiplayer because aside from 2 players, which I'm not really going to constitute as multiplayer. We're talking like 3, 4 or more is really kind of where multiplayer takes off. So yeah, anything that had a 2-player fighting games, sports games, yeah, sure, technically that's multiplayer, splitting hairs. But like I said, we're going to focus on 3 or more. And that was my first experience of 3 or more people playing other than like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade cabinet. That was the only other outlier I had.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What was your earliest multiplayer experience that you can recall?
Oh gosh, yeah. If we're talking 3 to 4 players, man, I'm not even sure honestly what my first one would be. I almost feel like it's probably in the Nintendo 64 time period. But I mean, I feel like I don't know because the thing was, even though I had Ninja Turtles the arcade, it did player. So I can't even remember honestly if you could use the 4-player connector to do 4 players on the NES. I'm not even sure anymore. But in our family,
you could. There wasn't a whole lot of games for it though.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example.
I'm trying to remember.
I feel like GoldenEye, honestly, maybe my first, which is kind of crazy.
So I can't remember what game it was. I was just looking at some Sega games I have back there. I thought it was Gadget Twins, but that, according to the box, is just 2-player. But no, I remember I had that connection for my Sega that went into the 2 controllers and then broke out into 4. And I don't remember why I had it because I can't think of.
We never did. None of us did.
I can't think of a game I played to to like be necessary for me to have that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Farrell says first 3 or more was X-Men Arcade 6-player. So I mean, that's a great way to go as far as the starting. But yeah, to your point, Jordan. The earlier systems, the NES, the SNES, the Sega, really weren't known for having 4-player games. They had, like I said, those 2-player experiences. They made peripherals, whether they be third party or some cases first party peripherals, where you could, extend into 4-player ports. But there wasn't a whole lot of games out there developed for it. In fact, the earliest one that I could remember for NES was RC Pro-Am 2.
Oh man.
Yeah. So you guys remember this game?
Yep, I got 2 copies actually.
Yeah. So this, you don't get
good.
split screen or anything like that. So if you fall behind, the system or the game automatically like speeds you up, just like that, like green and yellow there.
And this was the game that the direction you pushed to turn stayed the same no matter which way you're facing.
It wasn't necessarily the most
difficult.
conducive for an organic. This is something that
Such a
truly
good
needed
game,
that
though.
like diagonal directional pad type of thing going for it. But yeah, it was hard to keep your orientation in this game, but it was super fun.
Yep.
This is Twisted Metal before Twisted Metal existed, folks. Old school. But yeah, this is the first actual 4-player game that I ever remembered on the NES.
Dude, I did not even realize this was 4-player.
Yeah, well, the first one wasn't. The second one was. So that's, like I said, and very few people were going to go out and buy that 4-player connected thing for their NES because what are you going to play with it? Like, I think there's probably less than 10 games that probably utilized 4-player controls on the NES, so it's up there with the Power Glove as far as useless peripheral that doesn't necessarily have an extended game library or anything like that. So, yeah, and then Super Nintendo, Super Bomberman, I think is literally the only game I can think of other than NBA Jam or some sports games.
Yeah, Rexer was talking about multiplayer Madden, which I didn't remember you could do that on Sega either.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, the sports games were really where it was at. Next to that, the closest thing you could get was like, hey, if you got Sonic the Hedgehog 2, you can hand your buddy the controller and they can control Tails. But like,
and we'll see you later, Tails.
Yeah, as far as like split screen and co-op and all that kind of stuff, it was scary days back then. So we used to split my friends' Nintendo 64 to 4 TVs and block off the quadrants so you couldn't cheat. Oh, 100%.
I love it. Oh, yeah.
We did that. We literally cut up a cardboard box. It was like a laundry detergent box because we had so many issues with quote-unquote screen peeking from, nosy neighbors and nosy eyes.
I'm talking about you, Trevor.
Yeah. Looking at you, Trevor.
That's right.
Yeah, but we got a super chat here from ProtoX999. StarCraft, that's another amazing multiplayer game. Still going strong as far as the MMO world, which is like a whole nother thing when you're talking about multiplayer versus the massive online multiplayer where you got tons and tons of people going on.
And I think that's part of the whole thing about the topic tonight, because I mean, after the show last week when we were talking about how different it was, that back when we were younger, you called your friends over, and like at least once 4-player games started coming out, you're like, oh, come on, we're gonna play this, and 4 people played. And then with like Halo and stuff, where you could connect all the LAN everything, you could get more people, but it was still, you were still with the people.
Yeah,
playing. And that's going away more and more. I mean, even just like a week ago, they canceled the split screen on Halo Infinite. So it's like, oh, you want to play with people in the same house? No.
Tough luck. Yeah. Buy a new house.
Dude, some of the wrestling, I'm sure we're going to get to that, obviously, but some of the wrestling
Paul has a question.
games.
It's a dumb question. Couldn't you play Mario Kart on SNES? Not to my knowledge, as far as the 4 screen.
2, yeah.
It was just 2, yeah. There's like hacked versions of the ROM that you can download and play on a PC that has the 4-player split screen. But yeah, unfortunately, it was just 2 on the original Mario Kart. Which
so I had to. Oh, sorry.
Would have been great. Would have been great for 4. It would have been perfect.
Yep.
But clearly, Nintendo realized that coming later on and said, "Hey, how do we improve upon our old Mario Kart formula?" And Nintendo 64 came out 1996. Guns blazing. Oh yeah. So this is what I think. sorts of technical difficulties. Okay, that's weird. Whatever. You can hear, yeah, it is what it is. You can hear me now, but you can't hear me when I got the video playing. That's
what we wanted.
That's par for
how
the
we
course.
planned
Yeah.
it, yeah.
I mean, but anyways, yeah, I was saying into the abyss of nothingness that no one could hear me. That view, that 4-quadrant window setup, that is what I think of when I hear the word multiplayer. It doesn't have to be Mario Kart the game or whatever, but it's that window 4-box setup that is 100%. It just is what it is. Like that. That's multiplayer. Like,
yep.
If you go to the dictionary and you open up the definition of multiplayer, it should be a little window 4-square box like that.
Yeah, there's just be a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to define it.
Yeah, just show it.
Yeah, but obviously you guys played Mario Kart Nintendo 64. Was there anything special about that? Was it like the 4-player setup that really gravitated to you, or was it the updated graphics? Or
I think it's both. I mean, that was, dude, the N64. It's that was just such an interesting year for consoles because I was so into the PlayStation at that time, but yet, it was just like the N64 was pushing so much on the
like the party games.
Just the party games.
Yeah.
We used to always go over to our friend Lisa's house and play Mario Party, and that was just so awesome. But even if you have, tell me if you guys remember this too, like 12 friends over, you do the last in the controller, if whoever the winner stays, pass the controllers around.
It's like in-house tournaments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I want to point this out. I'm so happy that Mace Windu is here because the Trevor joke was not a joke. We have a friend named Trevor. I'm so happy he's here. He's the biggest screen watcher. It was like a joke now for 20 years, more than that now, that we just go screen watcher even when he does it. When we actually did online play, when he wasn't even with us, we just keep calling him Screen Watcher as a joke because that's the title he gave himself now. But anyway.
Yeah, I feel like the Nintendo 64 just, at least for me, what year did that come out? I don't even remember what year it came out. But I know I was like, I had to be around like 8 or 9. No, I was probably 9 or 10. Because I'm trying to think of, we had moved when I got that. I was around probably 9 or 10, somewhere around that when it came out. But I mean, I feel like that's kind of the age as you're like, you're getting to the point to where you hang out with friends at their house more often. You go, kids typically at that point in time, it's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? Oh, I want to have a slumber party and invite all my friends over, so I feel like that was the console I do remember having some of the most like multiplayer experiences on. I remember, this is an interesting story. So, of course, GoldenEye. Well, maybe I shouldn't mention GoldenEye yet. Should I mention GoldenEye yet?
You can wait. You can wait like 30 more seconds.
I got a GoldenEye story.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a GoldenEye story. I'll wait.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can go ahead and tell it because for whatever reason, like I said, unless we can experiment with this. I got a video for GoldenEye obviously queued up, but
actually, Jordan, tell the story when the video's going.
Yeah, okay.
Well, are they able to hear you over the video?
Probably not.
No.
Yeah, I was about to say, for whatever reason, this whole thing is just being cantankerous. But anyways, we'll play a brief clip of GoldenEye without us talking, and then we'll talk about it. How about them apples?
Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody remembers GoldenEye. If they don't, please leave the chat instantly.
It's rumored to be remastered here soon. So,
yeah. So technically already was, and then it got canceled because there was like the Xbox HD version that leaked like a year or two ago. And,
I thought I heard some.
Because I remember downloading the dead version of the game and played a little bit of it. And I was like, this would have been amazing. I can't believe they dropped the ball. But GoldenEye for sure, that was the most played game amongst friends in my little circle. Next to it would be the wrestling games, but GoldenEye for sure was the king as far as, hey guys, what do you want to play tonight? And the Nintendo 64, like I said, coming out in 1996 with the 4 controller ports inherently built in. You didn't have to buy an accessory. You didn't have to buy a tap that, split it into 4 or anything like that. Our go-to was always, deathmatch multiplayer, GoldenEye setup. Facility was our probably number 1 most played map.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We like to do proximity mines in the facility or timed mines sometimes. Rocket launchers in the temple, for whatever reason, was a big mode setup that we like to use a lot. And the golden rule amongst my friends was always nobody was allowed to use odd job, because it was cheating if you were using odd job, because he was like 4'2", and it was so hard to shoot him or kill him because he run by you and it was just like he'd clip you at the knees or something like that. So did you guys have any like house rules, so to speak?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, that's.
I don't remember any rules like that. Like you can't do this or can't do. I loved, and this continued even into like the Halo days too. I loved setting up matches that like my favorite thing was always to do smallest map with rocket launchers only type stuff. Like you're not allowed to use anything but rocket launchers just to make it chaos.
Yeah. And Meisen's got a good point here, because my friends, we were the same thing. Like we'd play that facility, but everybody knew like one of the main respawns was the top of the vent ducts, and you had to like crawl through and you come to the toilet. So like there would be so many like crazy standoffs where somebody,
battles.
Where somebody was like, all right, I think I can fly out of this duct and out of this, toilet stall before they get me. And it's like, no. And then it was somebody's like, you're cheating. It's bull crap. You can't do that. You're just camping. Camping before camping was, what it is considered.
That word cheater got thrown around a lot on the N64.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. But like I said, screen peeking, screen watching. Yep. Yeah.
How'd you know I was coming in there? Huh? How'd you know that?
Yeah, Vinny. We mentioned the arcades. That was kind of like your only real multiplayer experience. The home, a little bit different. But yeah, GoldenEye, man, had some of the coolest weapons. You got the proximity mines. You got the golden gun, which honestly I hated using in multiplayer because it took away a lot of the fun. But RCP-90X, I think is what it was called. There's like the super fast machine gun. Oh yeah, you were gonna do some damage. Yeah, do some damage. But go ahead and tell your GoldenEye story.
So back when I was a teenager, some of the people that follow our channel might know that I make music full time. That's my job. But back when I was a teenager, I was on the worship team at our church, and they had 2 services, and it was really early. I remember the first one was early for me because I'm a super night owl. And I remember me and some of the other teenagers, like our friend Josh and his brother Victor, sometimes we'd like play for first service, and like they were like, well, you need to at least come to one service, but as long as you come to one, we don't care what you do. You can leave after second service worship, or you can something like that. But anyway, I'm making the story way too long. Anyway, so we'd play first service, and then the church was also connected to what used to be a school. So we'd go up to like the classrooms, and sometimes we'd like go to sleep because it was early, and we'd take like a nap and then wake up, play second service. And well, then one day in one of the classrooms, we found a Nintendo 64 with GoldenEye, and we were like, what? Where did this from? It was on one of those rolling carts with the TVs. And so that became what we did for like,
that sounds like straight out of a commercial.
For like a year or more. It was like, all right,
kids walking
when we get done playing, it was like we walked off stage and we booked it up there. We're like, all right, we're playing GoldenEye. And like that's what we do until second service came around. Like we immediately got up there to play GoldenEye.
Was there smoke when you walked in the room?
Yeah.
With music playing?
Yeah, it was like
and then the TV just slowly started carting towards you.
It's like, are you looking for something fun to do? Here it is.
Yeah. That is definitely planted product from Nintendo of America. They were, behind the dual-sided mirror on the other side, trying to, jot down notes, and you guys were all part of a closed control. You just didn't know it.
They're like, we're gonna stick this in this room over here and see how much they play it.
B Kong says used to play Complex so much you could run through the stage backwards as needed to evade other players. Yeah, I mean, we memorized these maps pretty quickly just because we'd spent hours upon hours upon hours playing that game. I mean, and this is one of those random examples where the multiplayer is just as good as the single player because nowadays multiplayer is where it's at, but single player was the main focus. Multiplayer was just kind of like, hey, by the way, this is there should you want to dip your toes in the water. But single player campaign of GoldenEye was awesome. Multiplayer was just as awesome, if not better. So
until you had to get what's her name? Why can't I think right now? What's her name to follow you? And she gets killed every second.
Yeah, that's I mean that's game AI for you.
Was it Natalia?
Yeah, that sounds right. It's got to be Russian, right? So it'd be foolish not to remaster GoldenEye. It's such a classic. Yeah, I mean it's licensing mumbo jumbo issues with MGM going underwater and all that stuff is what's kind of created issues with that. But it prints money. I mean they tried to redo it later on with like a reskin version with Daniel Craig, and it just really wasn't the same thing.
Yeah.
Star Fox 64 is not coming up on the list, but that is a good honorable mention.
Yes, it is a good.
It's just one of those things. Like, I didn't want this to be like 100% Nintendo 64 focused, but Nintendo 64 was truly. There's no way other to say it than it was the king of multiplayer.
I played Star Fox a lot. I had a friend that loved Star Fox so much. He could beat it with only one hand. Like I went to his house one time. He's like, I can beat Star Fox with one hand, and like literally held the controller with one hand, like put it on, like doing this weird kind of crap. like, and I was like, okay, that's pretty sweet. Man, it's one of those things where at first you're like, I don't want to watch you do this, and then once you get past a few levels, you're like,
all right,
okay, this is actually kind of cool.
He's gonna do it. Yes. He's gonna be able to do it. Yeah,
Scott is right though that it's like the game that's rumored every year to have a remake.
Oh, absolutely. It never stops. It never stops. All right. We had another one queued up. And, of course, now, man, this is really grinding my gears.
Ooh, Time Splinters. Another good one.
Yeah. All right. We'll bring in this on the live feed. And apologies if the audio messes up because that's just par for the course tonight. That's the way things are working. But we'll play a quick clip of another great game that came out after GoldenEye. GoldenEye was 97. This game was 98. Any guesses?
98.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is it 64 or are we moving on?
Oh, it's 64 still.
Wrestling.
Smash Brothers.
Ooh,
nope.
Smash
Not
yet. Good.
Is it good? Oh, Mario Party, maybe.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most well-known multiplayer games of all time.
So good.
Yeah. And guess what? The video's not coming in. So talk about it. Go for it because
Mario Party was good. Just a couple of them real quick and set them here.
This whole thing just needs rebooted, but we're not going to do that live.
You have the first one somewhere.
So I will be 100% honest. I've only played. Which one's the one where he's got the Australian hat on? It's
is that
second one?
Second one, yeah. Yep. That's the only one I ever played with friends. For whatever reason, they just couldn't get into it. I think they were more focused on wanting to shoot somebody in the face with a rocket launcher or powerbomb somebody with Kevin Nash than they were willing to play the Mario Party mini games. Unfortunately, but I enjoyed it. I mean, it's literally in the title. It is a party game by all means.
It is one of the few
tons and tons of multiplayer mini games set up for it.
It's one of the few multiplayer games I still play to this day. Like, I mean, my wife, who's not a gamer at all, will actually play Mario Party with me. Like, if we're just bored and hanging out, and we're like, "Hey, you want to watch a movie? You want to play Mario Party?" Like, she'll actually play Mario Party. Like,
I mean, the game's hilarious.
It is. It's just fun. I love how goofy and ridiculous.
The third one's the first one I played. Like I said, it was at our friend Lisa's house. She was like, "You want to play Mario Party?" I'm like, "I've never played it." I don't know why. I just didn't think like Mario Party board game for some reason didn't really appeal to me. Just the sound of it. And then when we sat down and played it, I was like, "This is fantastic!" And then of course that I had got all three of them after that, and then that just kind of trickled to where now I have every one that's ever been made. So
which is like 48 of them, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I skipped that one cruddy one on the Switch, but
Yeah.
besides that, yeah.
I feel like that's one of those games where they just pump it out every 6 months because
Pretty
it's
much
so
so.
easy to make. It's just mini game, and
Yep.
then there's the variations of it. I mean, you could almost consider, was it like WarioWare to be along the
WarioWare
same?
is great. It's so ridiculous,
It
but
is.
it's great.
Yeah, Mace Windu says the GameCube ones were really good.
I agree.
Yeah.
Could be the best.
Um,
Really good.
Did the GameCube had the microphone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the later version.
Oh man, talk about a weird peripheral.
Dude, so we'll try to make this quick, but whenever they had the microphone, first off, you're thinking this is such a dumb gimmick because, like, you're playing 4 players, and then the person sees you have the mic, so you're like saying left, right, and there's like, so you're just listening. Okay, they're going left, right. Then we're just realizing all you have to do is not press down the button and trick the person next to you. Just say right, and the person's like, "Oh wait, no!"
Yeah,
And then
your sister.
oh yeah,
that
we did
first
all
and just
sorts of
messed
strategy
everyone
with
up.
that
Yeah.
stupid mic, and it ended up being hilarious. But yeah, so we took advantage of the dumbness of the mic, but yeah.
Well, after Mario Kart, there was this goodie. This is one of my favorites. WCW NWO Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely loved that game to death. Basically, any of the Nintendo 64 wrestling games, but that one, like, prior to that was the WCW NWO World Tour one that was 97, but that one really didn't get a whole lot of love. Had a very minimal roster. Didn't have the same kind of depth as far as the moves you could do, modes and things like that. WCW NWO Revenge in 1998. That's when things really started kicking off as far as the wrestling multiplayer games with me and my friends. Didn't have to do a four quad screen or anything like that because everybody was in the ring at the same time. But that was another one where we started having to develop house rules because there were so many complaints of cheating and overuse of Goldberg and getting speared unwillingly for 5.5 minutes straight. It basically became where Goldberg was so overpowered in the game you weren't allowed to use Goldberg. Period. That was the house rule after a while.
Doug, did you ever turn on your tag team partner?
Oh, absolutely.
That's the
absolutely.
best part.
Yeah. Are you wrestling if you did
all of a
it?
sudden wrestling, all of a sudden, what are you doing, Adam? And they start taking out your buddy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, if you're not playing wrestling the right way, if you didn't suddenly have a heel turn on your best friend,
Yes.
a la,
Yeah, but
the
sure, you
barber
think you're
shop
going
with
this way,
Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, exactly.
See, I completely disagree, Edward. Some of those 3D games did not age well. As the comment, like, for whatever reason, it's the gameplay that gets me more than anything. But like the boxy graphics of the Nintendo 64 and like the early 2000s, late 90s Sega arcade games, with everything was blocky. Like, for whatever reason, it's near and dear to my heart. Like, I like it. I like the goofy, blocky nature of it. And I remember back then I was like, this is reality. I'm like, they can't make these graphics any better than this.
Dude, what's crazy is that, sorry, to throw this example, because this is just a good one, is on PlayStation. During the PlayStation time period, Tekken 1, which is just pure block animated character.
Yeah, absolutely
Tekken
blocks.
3.
Yeah.
And I know it's just to see like what they did graphically over that time period on the same
It's-
system
Yeah,
is pretty
same.
crazy.
That is pretty amazing. That's the same system.
Yeah.
I know these. I mean, but then you also had things like Final Fantasy VII, which
Very blocky.
that is
Yeah.
that is block graphics.
Yeah.
Yep.
But speaking of blocky graphics, this was a great one. You won't be able to hear us. But... I love your pants miming.
I know, yeah.
But Super Smash Brothers, like the game you didn't know you needed until it was shown to you. Because like at no point in time did I ever sit there and go, you know what? I want to punch Kirby in the face or something like that. You're like,
I remember the commercial for that when I was younger. It was the So
Imagine me and you. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And it had everyone in like mascot
Holding hands. Yep.
costumes, like walking through the meadow, and then they just start wailing on each other. Like it was great.
And now everyone wants their character in Smash.
Yeah.
Oh, and it doesn't end. I mean, and it's just constant DLC for the current one where it's just like, hey, what character is going to be? It's like, oh, here's this obscure character that no one really wanted. But it is what it is. I mean, they've grown well beyond the litany of characters that you would ever expected to see in this kind of fighting game, so to speak. But for Nintendo to start putting their A-list characters in there and let them battle it out and punch each other, pretty remarkable territory, because they were always kind of playing it safe. Everything was supposed to be PG, family friendly. So for them to allow Mario to punch Pikachu in the yellow lightning bolt down below is pretty crazy stuff. But yeah, it's one of the king of multiplayer games. Unfortunately, Nintendo is like the worst as far as supporting it. Like there's so many Smash Brothers tournaments that have been canceled because Nintendo threatened to sue them because they're using modified rosters or something, like just dumb stuff like that. Like Nintendo loves to kill their own fan base. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I loved Super Smash Bros., specifically the Nintendo 64 one. I mean, I know and remember the Nintendo 64 controls for Fox so well. It messes me up anytime I've tried to play any other Smash Brothers game, just because I felt like I just played that game so much. And it's not like it's drastically changed, but it is a little different now. Like I remember on Nintendo 64, Fox needed the right trigger button. He'd grab and he'd throw, and you could throw people off the map.
That's a cheater move.
No. But now you have to pick what direction he throws, and if you pick forward, he'll throw and shoot, which doesn't make them launch, but you can throw it backwards. Now it's just Dave's like, what?
Are you complaining?
Complaining.
It's not complaints, it's critiques.
It's like Fox was good. His moves were good back on Nintendo 64. It's like, why'd you have to dwarf him a little bit? Because I was just launching everyone off that thing by throwing them.
I like the GameCube one.
Yeah, the GameCube one stands out the most to me because there's like so many people and there's different companies out there that have made ways to use a GameCube controller on the newer systems, because so many people have been, basically christened with the Smash Brothers on the GameCube version, and they will not play it with any other controller other than the GameCube controller, which, if you look at it, is, an achievement itself, because like people gave Nintendo so much crap from Nintendo 64, and they looked at the controller like, oh my god, it's hideous. How could you make anything so hideous? And like they said, hold my milk. And they showed you the GameCube controller, which was equally, if not more so, horrifying to look at. But it's one of those things, like it makes perfect sense for Smash Brothers. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the other games in the catalog for GameCube, I would argue, but for Smash Brothers, for whatever reason, that game button layout, it works.
Hey, yeah, you'll never forget where the A button is.
Oh, you won't.
Yeah. Kong says Smash Brothers was good, but I played Brawl on the GameCube and really fell in love with it. Yeah, I think probably more people that are Smash Brothers fans and fighters would always vote for probably the GameCube version as being
like
the
faster
best
pace
one.
Too.
Yeah. I'm the weird one that prefers the 64 version.
Yeah, but you have a reason. Like I said, you have Fox's moveset ingrained into your brain.
I just played it so much, like.
I think we're gonna have to boot that up tonight to see if you still feel that way.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah, after Smash Brothers, there was the Sega version, so to speak, Power Stone. Show a quick clip of it real quick.
So
also a great game that was in arcades. Probably not so much in the American audience having a lot of experience with the arcades, but the Dreamcast being a faithful, basically arcade in your home. That was where a lot of people got to experience that one.
Power Stone was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it
had
Power Stone 1, Power Stone 2, and then they came out with like the PSP like collection, which had both games on there. But yeah, it was Super Smash Brothers, but a different viewpoint, different kind of camera angle setup, same kind of gameplay mechanics. You had ring out, power ups, and all sorts of stuff. Crazy
There was also some
movesets.
cooperative modes though with Power Stone.
Yeah.
You get so that was. I mean, it was. I that was a fun game.
Yeah. Kong wants to know main characters for Brawl. He was a Peach player.
Oh, I'm also a Peach player.
Hmm.
Well, no. Sorry. Not Peach player. I'm a Zelda player. I meant to say Zelda.
I was about to say, you mean Link? Or Zelda?
No, Zelda.
You're talking about the princess. Okay.
Zelda, yeah.
I was about to say, had to clarify because, for generations, people have been calling Link Zelda.
I know.
Yeah.
No.
Poor guy.
I've stuck with Fox for just about every version of Smash there's been as like the main player I like to play as.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll switch it up and go Link every once
Mace
in a while.
says, definitely bought at least 4 of the GameCube controllers for Smash Ultimate on Switch and have never used them. Yeah. Farrell says, in Brawl, his main was Pit.
Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Say this, since we're now at Power Stone, I still think, and I have quite a good collection for both GameCube and Dreamcast now, but I still feel like, especially with Sega, that being their last console, those are still, in my opinion, the best multiplayer consoles. Like 64 started it all, but I still play those on a regular basis, and the games that are on there and how well they play.
Absolutely.
It holds up so well. When I have friends come over, we still boot up the GameCube, boot up the Dreamcast. Man, but that is such a good job on those two consoles. And especially with the arcade ports, man, on the Dreamcast. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah. It was, like I said, something about that is the sweet spot of multiplayer. The Nintendo 64, GameCube, Dreamcast era. I mean, all the systems came out ready to go. 4 players, plug them in. All the developers making the games, they truly started to focus. They're all like, hey, people like this multiplayer action. They're going to play, split screen. They want to play quad screen. They want to play local co-op and all these type of things. So they started developing games, adding those modes, and it was the time to be alive as far as multiplayer with your friends. Nowadays, completely different story. You can, play anywhere around the world. Don't have to leave your couch. You can sit there and be cussed at 6 a.m. by some French guy. It's a different world. Yeah. Or some 8-year-old kid in mom's basement in Louisiana. Just whatever. To me, like multiplayer, like I don't enjoy it as much if I don't have a personal connection with the other people I'm playing. Like,
yeah,
that was the golden era because I could sit next to the person and yell at him, quit screen peeking. You can't use Odd Job. I swear to God, if you spear me one more time with Goldberg, I'm going to, it's that kind of, gameplay experience that is lacking over, the modern multiplayer. Like, sure, you can shout that stuff to the headset, but it doesn't have the same.
Doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same luster and appeal.
There's no threat of the Smash Brothers becoming real life on the couch right then. So why
Kong
stop?
wants to know if any of us had enough friends to play Legend of Zelda 4 Swords on Game Boy Advance. I had enough friends, didn't have enough friends that enjoyed the Legend of Zelda series. So I had like maybe 2. But that's games like that, it's a weird one, like, because to me, like, role-playing strategy game type of thing, those are more of a single person experience that, like, trying to incorporate multiple people in a game like Zelda, just it feels wrong.
Like it'll never be complete.
It's just weird. Yeah,
it's unless your friends came over every day or every week to play it consistently.
Yeah, like you had an appointment at 3 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up where we left off. It just feels weird. Like I remember when that came out, I was just like, I don't know who that's for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt that way for whatever reason with Resident Evil 5. Sorry, now we're going past this, but it's like, Resident Evil for me was a creepy single player thing, and all of a sudden it's like, you can play co-op. And I was just like, do I want to, though, on this game? And I found out I did it.
Why would I? Yeah.
Yeah, I played it by myself, then played it with a friend. I'm like, yeah, it was much more enjoyable to play this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay says Time Splitters, the golden age of GoldenEye.
Time Splitters is very good.
And on its way out, Nintendo 64, they gave us the gem of all gems, WWF No Mercy in the year 2000. There was WrestleMania 2000 as well. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't exist. It was a great game as well, but No Mercy is the creme de la creme when it comes to wrestling games for the Nintendo 64.
So good.
The blocks are a little mountain now.
But you got so many different game modes. You could fight backstage. You pick up all sorts of crazy weapons. You could throw people through tables, off ladders, hit them with chairs. You know, the expanded roster. It was everything that we loved about the older games with the WCW, NWO World Tour, and Revenge, and WrestleMania 2000. And they just added a little more and just made it the perfect wrestling game. Basically, in my opinion, humble opinion, no wrestling game has been able to recapture, recreate, or even touch the fun that is the WWF No Mercy for Nintendo 64. Obviously, the graphics got way better over the years, but as far as the gameplay experience, ease of use, the complexity of how deep the moveset goes versus how simple it is to pull things off, I'm like, no one's done that since.
Nope. I actually completely agree with you. And it doesn't matter how many times I've played new ones. Like, there's stuff that has got my attention, got me excited. Like when they did the WWE All-Stars. I thought that was a fun concept game. But like every year, and it's weird, even when you do that trailer, that just made me so happy. It doesn't matter about the graphics. To me, I'm like, I almost prefer that now than I do the newer stuff for whatever reason. But
the game's good.
Yes, it's so fun, dude. No, it was.
Gameplay trumps everything else. Like I said, we can sit here and kind of bag on the blocky graphics, and yeah, obviously they didn't stand the test of time, but like the gameplay is what kept us coming back for more and more. And like I said, I will gladly play any Nintendo 64 wrestling game over any modern wrestling game that's been released in the last 5 to 10 years.
And you're even in one.
Yeah, and I'm in one. Yeah, that says a lot. Yeah. But I mean, and that's another fine example too, because that one's like, hey, instead of these super fancy updated graphics, let's just go back to the heart of, what made WrestleFest such a fun game, and maybe, add a little more to it. And that's what they did. And that's why that game is Retromania Wrestling is what we're alluding to.
So
that's why that's a good one.
Yeah, you actually bring us a good topic that we need to talk about sometime, but I stand by this, and I'd like to everyone in the chat to also put in your opinion, but I prefer arcade style games, and let me explain on this. Like, I'd much rather play NBA Jam than a modern day 2K basketball. I like the fast pace, the crazy, the pushing, and it's weird because even now, like just seeing
you like arcade versus the simulation experience.
Yes,
so like,
I was getting ready to say. I feel like for me, video games are supposed to be different than the real world.
Yeah,
like I don't want something that tries to be so realistic. Like, why not like NBA Jam? Why not do pushing or some crazy mechanic or
have late hits and blitz?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I prefer the arcade experience versus the simulation experience. Like Gran Turismo, Forza, great, beautiful looking games. Like there's truly moments where I'm like, that looks like real life.
Yep.
But Twisted
That's
Metal.
cool. But yeah, Twisted Metal or all these San Francisco Rush, I want to see these crazy, goofy things that aren't, realistic, so to speak. I want to be able to send this car 180 feet in the air, run into an overpass, does a couple of flips, lands on its wheels, and keeps rolling. Stuff like that.
Yep.
That is fun as hell to me.
And Inferno,
not necessarily, shaving a tenth of a second off of my lap time because I was, dragging the wind behind some other car. Different strokes, different folks. I get it. But I'm with you there. Jay, to answer your question, what do I think of the new AEW game coming? I'm super excited because for all intents and purposes, they've said they want it to be basically like a love letter to the Nintendo 64 wrestling era games. So hopefully that equates to the same kind of gameplay experience. Obviously the graphics have improved, but if the gameplay, mechanics, and experience are, there, then I mean, you can't take my money fast enough. Plain and simple.
I think it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Inferno, with that comment, you win the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
Super
Detroit
technical.
Retro Gamer says it's 5:30 p.m. You and your friends, family confirmed. There can be a sleepover. There will be pizza rolls and GoldenEye. That is the most true statement I have ever heard in my entire life. Just that experience of like going back and forth between the moms and the dads. Like, hey, can so and so spend the night? His mom said it was okay, and their mom goes, well, make sure so and so says it's okay, and then you got to go like back and forth. They're like, hey, his mom already said it's okay. Is it okay with you if so and so spends the night? It was just that in a nutshell.
That is
But
the
yeah.
exact situation.
Yeah, 100%. Oh man. Matt Asher said I had the opportunity to be in a few scenes of the Twisted Metal TV series filming back home, but my schedule didn't work out.
That's really awesome.
That would have been sweet. Even, just to be an extra in the background. Sucks that it didn't work out for you because I'm anxious to see how that works. I have low expectations.
Yep.
But high hopes, to put it that way. Mason says I'd play Joe Montana football and Genesis over any of the new Madden games. They seem over the top, complicated. Tecmo Super Bowl, Tecmo Super Bowl. I mean, you really need 6 plays in Bo Jackson, and then you got a Super Bowl victory. I mean, that's all you needed. You don't need 40 pages of the playbook.
No, you just use Bo Jackson and run down field.
May says, I think Royal Rumble for Sega was my favorite wrestling game, followed closely by the WWF arcade game. That is a bold choice. I love both those games, but a lot of trash gets always spoken about the WWF arcade game just because I think so many people were expecting it to be a simulation versus the over-the-top Mortal Kombat type of experience that it got. Adam, this is a great one as well, Guitar Hero. So if you had Guitar Hero or Rock Band, specifically more Rock Band because that was
that's technically a multiplayer game. Yeah.
If you got everybody going, you had a truly ensemble experience. Bo Jackson running over Andrew Bosworth.
That's one of the greatest highlights.
Sports moments of all time. But
I'm not sure what it was. I think it was like Switchfoot or something, or at some point hooked up the Rock Band controllers to like MIDI sequencers.
Yeah, and actually played the song.
Played the song with them.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's when you really found out who in your friend circle could not sing while they were not intoxicated. Those awkward experiences playing Rock Band sober. Yeah, those were rough. But last but not least, of course, we got to talk about one of the kings of multiplayer. We got to talk about Halo.
Screen watchers.
Yeah. I actually think this video might be quiet enough for you to hear us.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And
we can hear you just fine, Judd.
No, okay, all right. Well, see, that's weird then. I don't know why. Because I didn't change anything.
Dude, this brings back some great memories.
Absolutely. So
who's this top?
Trevor's in the top right.
Who's this top left person? Oh, they're starting to move now.
Yeah.
This top left person been standing in one spot, just looking down the whole time, sniping everybody.
Mace's pistol was a beast. Yeah, we brought over our similar rules from GoldenEye because Halo, it seemed like just a natural kind of like progression of what GoldenEye started back in 96. Halo was just like the better graphics, but the same kind of multiplayer experience. Just, man, good days of, split screen, doing LAN parties. LAN parties were the thing. The youths may not know what the LAN parties were, but go ahead and
Yes.
Yep, that's it right there.
This was my college in a nutshell. So in the year 2000, I would have been like a first year college student. No, I take that back. The year 2000, I was still in high school. Numbers is hard. I graduated in 2003 high school. So but we totally lugged around the CRTs. Like friends brought over their own little 13-inch CRT, which still weighed like 90 pounds. But we did this. We cleared out somebody's dining room table. We connected it this way. We didn't have to really worry so much about screen peeking, and we would land it up.
Yeah, I think maybe I just mentioned this to you guys when we were talking, not on the show last week or another time, but I was saying I remember, yeah, I'd go to my cousin's house and he had a TV. Oh, sorry, he had a TV down in his basement, and then like it was like a half stairway up. It wasn't like a full like long stairway to his basement. It was like his living room, so there was a TV there. But yeah, we'd invite like everyone we could, and they'd bring over their Xboxes and their CRTs, and I mean, we would run wires throughout that house to get this
absolutely
running to where we'd have like as many people as possible playing all at one time.
Doug, can you go back to that previous picture real quick?
And I was terrible at the game, but I still loved playing it.
Think about how much weight that is.
100%. Yeah. So like when I found this picture, I was trying to like calculate how many sawhorses they had on this particle board.
Dude. The amount of weight from those CRTs.
Yeah, because those are actually like legit monitors. So like that's not like a go to the Radio Shack or Circuit City or Best Buy and buy this TV. Those are legit monitors that you would get in a production suite, so to speak.
Yeah.
I had that monitor for editing when I was in high school and college, and I know exactly how heavy that stupid thing is. The only good thing is it has those kind of like vent slides where you could actually grab it.
Yeah.
Those little cutouts.
Riesna, I'm not sure if I'm saying the name right, but saying that comment that was just up. What was that exactly?
It was LAN parties were a great way to basically teach yourself some IT stuff.
Okay. That I mean that's so true. Like I wonder if that's why like
we're more technically savvy than Like, so like this you don't see the wires here. You don't see all of them there, but like this one you get a pretty good idea of like the rat's nest that is going on here. Because
it took dedication too, because
how are these tables holding this up?
Because
I mean that's a solid table right there.
It is, but that other one's bad.
Yeah, they struck gold with that one.
One of those friends was like, "Are you sure this is going to hold this up?"
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's kind of holding it.
Yeah.
As they're playing the whole time, he's here. That's a lot on that part.
People don't know how spoiled they are to be able to sit on a couch and connect with 30 people on a multiplayer.
There was no couch sitting because we all had to hook these TVs up in weird ways to get everyone playing at the same time.
Yeah. Mason says had a 19-inch CRT computer monitor back in the day. I needed a forklift to relocate it.
Yeah, I know. When Jordan just said, bring your CRTs over to your buddy's house, that's a lot of work.
It was.
Oh, 100%. Like,
it took so much work. Like, you'd play all
you were
night.
Dedicated.
Yeah. And
it was not, hey, I'm going to come over for 20 minutes and play some game. Like, I'm going to be there for 5 hours because it took me, half an hour to lug this thing downstairs. Yeah, set it up. Yeah, there's a lot of energy drinks absorbed, a lot of adult beverages drank. Let's scroll through, see if they play a different mode. There we go.
Dude, the Rockets, like Jared and Mace pointed to.
Yeah. Rockets.
Rockets only on that. I don't remember the name of the map where it's got the little river.
Yep.
Stream in the middle of the map. Yeah.
That was my favorite mode. Rockets only on that map. That was the smallest map, and it also had this tiny little like buildings on each side. So it was even more when you were basically if you got in there and you shot a rocket, you were dying as well.
Oh, yeah.
But at least you were taking out anyone else on the other team in there. Like
Trevor. Stop it.
Yeah, but I mean, Halo, like you mentioned earlier, Jordan, unfortunately is like evolving unnecessarily. It's not combat evolved for good, it's combat evolved for bad.
I mean,
because why would you get rid of this mode for crying out loud? Like you can't tell me that this, for whatever reason, like the coding and the programming of this in your game is going to break it for whatever reason.
Like, for instance, I remember when Splatoon first came out, and everyone's all excited about it, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of like a goofy first-person, well, I guess it's not first-person, but, a goofy shooter on the Switch, like, this will be fun, my friends can play it. I remember it didn't have local multiplayer, like, you were expecting, every person had to have their own Switch and play it, and I remember, like, immediately, day one, just being like, this game is fun. And I know, like, a lot of people love that game, and, like, it's grown a pretty big fan base, and there, you can have fun playing that. I just remember the first day being so pointed in that. Like, I fully expected to open that thing up and go 4-person split screen with some friends on it, and that didn't happen.
Yeah. Instead, you get wow.
You see what Vic said?
Yes, he said, I was so bad at Halo, my friend would put away his gun and stab me just to add insult. And yeah, this is the game that kind of like really started off of like shaming people after you killed them. Like prior to that, people just died and they respawned or whatever. Like Halo's like, no, you got to teabag somebody right as they die. You gotta bounce off their skull a little bit.
Well, not only that, you'd make your name something like, something ridiculous, like
so it's killed by whatever.
A big chode or something like that.
Yeah, this is when the internet really started, using their powers for good, and we really realized just how juvenile a lot of our a lot of our younger audiences were.
Jordan, I know you haven't played much Call of Duty, but Modern Warfare was really good. Call of Duty 4. There was a perk you could do called Last Stand. It would make you so mad. I can just picture playing this with you.
Yeah.
If you kill someone, all of a sudden they fall on the ground with a pistol.
I remember that.
I was like, you would just be so mad playing that if someone had Last Stand on you.
Oh,
like,
it happened many times. See, okay, so I wanted to bring this up at some point tonight.
Mr.
So
T-Bags.
I, from the age of like I think eight, my family moved more out to the country, and I remember 8 or 9 was when we got like a Windows 95 computer, and like the internet was like taking off, where everyone had it, But we lived so far out in the middle of nowhere that our internet was terrible, and DSL started showing up, and like high-speed internet and all this stuff, and we always lived so far out that we couldn't get it. And even after I moved out of the house, and then when I got married, I've always still lived kind of out in that same area until literally 3 years ago. I have not had good internet until 3 years ago. And when I mean not good internet, it was like even our so-called high-speed internet I had at our last house was like, oh, you can get 8 megabits a second, which was not true. Every test I got was like 0.05 downloads.
So you could maybe up to.
Yes, up to. Doug, we can't hear you anymore, but I can tell that you said up to.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry, I had to sneeze, so I muted my microphone. Sorry.
But no, I could tell that you had said up to. But anyway,
that's how they get you. It's always the fine print.
Because of that, I've almost never played online multiplayer gaming. If I've ever played multiplayer, it always had to be friends in the house or at a friend's house getting online. So like, I feel like I've missed out so much at that like stuff like Call of Duty drives me crazy because I don't stand a chance. I die so quick, and I'm like, this is weird. Like I get so mad at the game. I'm like,
yeah,
like this is dumb. Like,
I mean, it's modern multiplayer is a whole different, animal in itself. Like to this day, I still play Battlefield and Call of Duty, but not a whole lot. Like I've got a bunch of friends at the gym, training partners, and we all play Battlefield together online. That's the only time I really played that. I like when they're not on or whatever, we don't like set aside a time to play together. It just doesn't really interest me. Like I said, if I don't have like that personal connection with the people I'm playing, it's just white noise to me. It's just people chirping, and it's just like I don't get the same enjoyment. And like you said, there's a lot of these games. It's like if you haven't put 1,000 hours in it, and, like memorized everything, like you're dead instantly. Like
I had a friend that just another comment on how bad my internet was at our last house. I had a friend. This was just like 3 years ago. Before we moved into the house I'm in now.
Vinny wants to know if you had AOL back then.
I did have AOL. Yeah. I did have AOL.
We talked about some instant message episodes.
But yeah, no, my internet was so bad. I remember a friend came over. This was like I said, like 3 years ago, and he's like, man, you got to play Fortnite with me. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. He's like, oh no, you're fine. Fortnite's not that big a game. Your internet will probably be okay. I know you don't have great internet, but you'll be fine. Indiana, and I'm like, I mean, we can try, but that's fine. So he was like in town with me, and he's at my house, and he was like, look, he's like, just download Fortnite when we get back home tonight. In a few hours, it'll probably be downloaded. It's really not that big again. I'm like, I'm telling you, dude, it's not happening. I was like, okay. So I clicked down on my Xbox, and we go out and we come back, and It's like 3 hours later, and it says it will be finished downloading in 32 days, 17 hours, and 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm telling you, dude, like,
Yeah.
this isn't gonna happen.
That's where you're just like, hey, next month this game is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Jay, Bad Company 2 is very good. I totally forgot about that game. It's an awesome game.
Basically everything sucked back then. Yeah.
Look at Beast comment.
Yeah.
I did not have any female gamer friends, unfortunately. Yeah.
The snail trail comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. For whatever reason, the Bungie game developers that didn't ever code that in, I don't know why. I think it's a little sexist of them.
It might be coming. You never know.
Yeah. Who knows what, Halo 17, maybe it'll come around. Because, you can make a female Spartan now, but you can't, you can't do a snail trail.
Come on, guys. Come on.
It is what it is. Yeah. But, modern day multiplayer, it's not the same. I don't get the same enjoyment. I think it's maybe just I'm too old, is what it is. I enjoyed being able to talk smack to people in a room. I enjoy that far more than I do talking smack across a headset to somebody across the country.
You know what? This isn't like super modern, but one of the closest to like a modern game, multiplayer game that's given me the same enjoyment as a kid is Little Big Planet.
That was
a great
fun.
game.
I love that game.
There was a lot of fun stuff
yeah.
With that, and more specifically, the user created levels for Little Big, like the shark level that someone made. Me and Adam played that so much. There was this skateboard level where you have to hold on to the skateboard and it'd go down and you'd try to smack.
Very similar to like Mario Maker, where the user generated levels just create so much extra content for the game itself. That stuff is awesome because it's never ending.
To end this, I want and put this in the chat as well. If you guys could have one day where you can have 4 friends over for a multiplayer game, what would you choose? One day of just pizza, 4 friends come over. What game are you picking?
That's the only game we're playing that day?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a hard decision.
It is a hard decision. I'm gonna personally pick WWF No Mercy. As much as it hurts my heart, just because I want to pick GoldenEye, but I think I probably put 10,000 hours in GoldenEye, and I probably put 9,000 hours in WWF No Mercy. So it's got a little more life in the tank for me. But yeah, WWF No Mercy, some bagel bites, pizza rolls, some Surge soda, and a beanbag chair, Surge. and we're in heaven. Yeah.
Man, this isn't
me. I know he's gonna overthink this.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking
he's thinking
specifically now.
Now.
Jay says Smash. B says GoldenEye. Paul says Blitz. Smash Bros. Ultimate.
But maybe Little Big Planet. Because
of all the games, that's what you're picking.
I don't know. Because I
Doug,
feel like
I'm picking No Mercy too. Just so you know.
I feel because I feel like me and Adam played it. We played it for like a week or two back when it came out. So much fun. I've just been wanting to play it again for so long, but it's rare. I feel like these days that you get a big group of people to come do something like that. Man, it's hard to say that because it's that game doesn't hold any special place of nostalgic memories. It's more of a man, I kind of want to play that again because I had so much fun that one time.
That's what it's about.
I mean, if I
don't blame you, by the way, that you stopped after GoldenEye. Yeah, you stopped on a good note. Halo's
Wii
good, though.
Sports Tennis. Oh, the death of so many. The death of so many TVs because of that game.
Yep. Yeah.
Any day now, Jordan.
No, I actually would maybe pick.
I know.
No, I think Halo would be fun. Maybe.
You gotta pick.
What?
Which one?
Okay, no, I'm gonna say
which one?
I'm gonna say Halo, but we're limiting it to rockets only or swords only.
Well, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Because I hate the normal mode nowadays because I'm so bad at first-person shooters. But give me something weird like that. And
Great pick. Speaking of new, you guys got a wonderful gift to give away to the viewing audience, right?
Yeah. All right. So
How's this work? Tell the viewing audience how they can win this.
So,
just by being you.
Yeah,
that's all you got to
we
do.
were
Just
trying
be yourself, everyone.
To
we're gonna try to do a comment picker.
How to do a comment picker, but it's not wanting to work.
So we're doing 1 through 100.
What's this pick a number thing you were talking about?
Easy. We just have them pick it. We pick a number, and whoever's closest to it gets it. That's gonna be hard to go through the comments, but you gonna try it real quick?
Let me see.
Oh, okay. I like it, Doug. Oh, we can't hear you now. Sorry, we lost you.
Separated out.
That's right. I muted it. Sorry. But yeah, handy dandy notebook. If Jordan doesn't figure this out, I'll just write a number between 1 and 100. Jordan?
Well,
how you feeling?
He's feeling great. He's still thinking about his pick.
This might take some time if I did it this way. I found a way to manually enter. Hold on. Let me just see what happens. Because that's separating comments part from.
Wait for it. Wait
okay.
for it.
No, this will work. I found a way to make it work.
All right.
Okay. We could maybe even share the screen. Okay.
Do it.
So here's what we're gonna do. How do I share the screen here?
You should go down to the share. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's too easy. Can't be it.
And there should be a video or screen.
I understand. Let's proceed.
Yeah, I understand. Proceed. We want to share this share screen 1. Okay.
First of all, hang on. I see that Glenn has jumped in with a greeting. So Glenn, glad you can make it.
Yes.
You are excluded from this giveaway because number 1, you have a brand new Nintendo Switch. You have had one for years. It has never been open. Yeah.
Unopened. It's been bagged up though, I bet.
No, but here's the thing. Glenn wants to keep that sealed, so this is one for him to open.
Yeah.
And he can play this one. All right.
So you want me to share the screen?
Sure. Here's what's gonna happen. So this might pick a blank spot or a comment or an emoji as well.
I love it.
It's uh-oh. Hang on. So we lost. Of course. Right as they get ready to give something away. Wouldn't you know it? They just disappear. They dip out like that. That sounds shady. Let's see if they can come back in. Yep, still no signal. I don't know what they did. Very suspicious, Paul. I agree. Very suspicious. They gone. Scuffed. Oh. What is going on? I think they may have to... Jordan, Adam, if you guys can hear me, you may have to stop sharing your screen and restart your camera or something, because yeah, it still says no signal. I'll kick them so they can come back. We'll do that. Farrell says, I think we just got punked. Glenn says, aliens. Gotta do the aliens. Blue screened. Yeah, if they're using Windows, they may have got blue screened. Gotta wait 31 hours for their downloading of the updates. Where's the color test pattern for disappearance? Yeah, sorry, technical difficulties. Did their computer die? You know what, Matahari? They could have died. A meteor could have come down. A very specific, very, target-centric meteor could have came down specifically and taken them out. I'll never know. I'll text her real quick. This has just been like the technical difficulty podcast of the evening. That's what it is. And if they're not back, I'll just give it away myself with the numbers. Who needs a camera battery? There you go. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, So yeah, apparently their camera battery died. So we'll give them a moment, see if they can get back on. Yes, 100% agree. Tonight has not been a night of things working well. We had audio issues from the get-go. I got multiple video sources, but now, hey, they're back.
Yeah.
Welcome back, gentlemen.
Hey!
All right. So yeah, I guess the camera battery died. So I guess we'll try and share the screen again. Let's hope it doesn't kick us off again, because I do think it was just the camera battery. So
Fingers crossed.
yeah, we're gonna share.
I sensed something like that when I saw the no signal. I'm like, that's typically
Yeah.
not conducive.
So there we go. All right. So yeah, this is
Pick a
Yes.
random item.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, so what I was saying, I don't know where I got cut off, but what we're
At the
gonna
very
do-
beginning, yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do
Honor
is,
very well.
I'm gonna click pick a random item, but because it would take too long to separate this out, it just copied and pasted this as name, and then comment may just pick the comment without a name. If that happens, I'm just gonna pick a random item again until a name.
So in other words, you're not going to win unless it's your name that shows
Yes.
up.
Yeah.
That's
Does
how
this
we're
make
doing it.
sense?
Yeah.
I feel like those rules are simple. All right. Should we just
Makes a lot of sense what you think about it. All right, go ahead, Jordan.
Ready,
Yeah.
set, go.
Yep.
Did it do it? Oh no, there we go. It did something.
Please
I
tell me
think-
it picked Cool Toy.
No. Oh, okay.
Detroit Retro Gamer DRG 313.
Are
Is that
you
a name?
still around? Yeah, I
That
remember
is
they had a
name
comment
right
earlier.
there.
They did? Okay.
All right, so first one, right? Picking a name.
Mm-hmm.
How long are we giving them to respond?
Wait for it. Wait
Countdown?
for it. Survey says Bueller.
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 Detroit
I mean-
Retro Gamer.
Yes,
Now's your
Matthew.
chance.
Because technically speaking, the way this random comment picker works is it has to see a comment out there. So if you were, a fly on the wall, unfortunately, it wouldn't work out there.
Yeah, so you might want to throw a comment out there now.
So are we
Rex-
You have not.
are we
Rexer's
moving-
already tired of waiting. Rexer's already tired of waiting.
If-
They did not win. It's the final countdown. Go ahead.
Hold on. So Matthew, hold on real quick. Matthew, did you
Well, now they have a comment.
yeah, now you have a comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's
We were
go.
just saying for everyone else
Let's
that has
just go
not
ahead
commented.
and copy and paste all of this again.
Nope. All right.
All right.
Here we go.
So we're
Well,
just gonna-
sorry, Detroit.
Sorry, man. We still love you.
Mm-hmm.
Check out for other giveaways.
Yeah.
All right, man, this is
Dragon Gamer, welcome.
not. There we go. There we go. Okay,
Here we go. Here we go.
It could be. There's a lot of those things out there.
there we go. All right,
Glenn,
Let's go
wish
again.
good luck.
all right. So if you see it and you see that you won, make sure you comment and say, "Hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
I want that thing."
Don't forget me.
Is this gonna go?
Gee.
We'll
There we
judge.
go.
Wait
Oh,
for it.
oh, oh, oh,
Oh.
And it picked.
Oh,
Paul!
Paul! Yeah,
Paul, are you
man.
still there?
Paul's gotta be
Paul,
here.
yeah, come on, Paul.
Come on, Paul.
Paul is a
Let
regular
us know,
time
Pat,
viewer.
Paul.
Paul, we hope you're
Be
there.
like, just comment something. Say, "Hey, I'm here." Come on, Paul. But everyone's gonna leave at the giveaway.
Paul.
Hey, come on, Paul. Come on, Paul.
I know, Paul, you gotta be there.
Paul,
Don't do this to us. There it is.
wait.
Congrats, Paul's
Nope.
here.
Paul is here?
Yep.
Okay, I'm seeing the comments delayed.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there it
Alright,
is.
yep.
There, it's delayed, but I see it now.
All right,
Yes.
Paul, do us a favor.
Shut the front door.
If
All
you
right, then.
can you send us a tweet, like a private message with your address information? We'll get this sent over to you.
Well, send us a tweet first, and so we can verify it's you.
That's a good
I mean-
point. I mean, we have that stuff happen all the time. Too. We
Yeah,
have people
we've had-
acting
we've
like
had
other
people do
people.
that, yeah.
So we have steps we have to do. But either way, send us a tweet first. We'll go do all that. Paul, congrats. That's awesome.
Yes, congratulations, gentlemen. You guys are
Yeah. So
very
let's-
kind for giving those away.
Yeah. Once again, Paul, message us on either Twitter or Instagram, whichever one you have. And we'll get that all figured out.
Yep.
Mhm.
We will have more giveaways coming because that's just what we like to do. So just be on the lookout. But yeah, appreciate you, Paul.
Yep. So next week, make sure you guys are tuning in because we will be giving away Jordan's watch.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. He doesn't know this, but
Hey, for real though, I have the original Apple Watch from 7 years ago when it first came out. If anyone wants that, it's just sitting on my desk. Not good.
There you go.
It doesn't work very well, but
Yeah.
actually,
So-
it works fine. It just doesn't like to work with the newer iPhones. So
Matthew says, once kicked my older cousins 10-0, 0-10. GoldenEye said it was most frantic. Game was perfect till that moment for me. Anyone else get this? Anyone? Bueller? Nope. Okay. Oh, sorry. Just you,
Hold on.
Matthew.
My older cousins 10-0 to 0-2.
yeah, what are they
Well,
saying?
I
Hold
said
on.
I was most. Oh,
Glenn says your watch belongs in a museum right next to his bust.
Jordan's car. Do it.
Yeah. Jordan's car. Oh.
Give away
But anyways, I
opportunity to
appreciate
get
everybody
feedback by
tuning
Tool
in.
Club.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Tuning in to this very hectic, very chaotic, very technically just improficient use of technology. It's been a cluster cuss all night long, but you know what? We still appreciate and enjoy you guys hanging out and talking nostalgia with us. Like I said, something about just being connected with friends near and dear to you while you're playing these games is just, I think we all can agree, a little more special than just the randomness that is today's modern multiplayer. There's some cool modern multiplayer games out there, but when it comes down to it, the old school stuff, it was the best.
This is a perfect example to show why modern day multiplayer is terrible, because you can have issues like this where when you're together playing, you don't have to worry about dropouts, no audio. It
Exactly.
Just works. So thank
you.
you.
You just smack your friend and you say,
Yeah.
"Stop looking at my screen.
Cheater.
You're
Yeah.
cheating."
And by the way, do you want to
Or-
get some pizza?
Yeah, exactly. Or
Yep.
hey, is your sister single? Or stuff like that.
Yep.
But
That's what Adam said.
yeah. Mace Windows says multiplayer after party ?
We should have done that. Yeah.
Should have
Yeah.
set it up. Paul,
Yep.
congratulations once again. Great stuff. Hope you enjoy your Nintendo Switch. As always, if you guys have any suggestions or comments for future show ideas, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Whether you're watching live or watching this in the re-upload. You can't watch last week's MTV video because it got a record 8 copyright strikes from MTV. So if you were able to join us last week and talk MTV, glad you could make it because no one else saw that. It got taken down like 3 hours after it went up.
That's
MTV
why I guess you
snipers
watch
were
the
quick.
show as it's happening. Because
you
next
gotta
week
be there
we're going
live.
for 10 copyright strikes. I'm just joking.
But anyways, anything you guys want to say before we close it out?
No, just thanks for watching, guys. Just like Doug said, make sure you give us future ideas. Just keep them coming. We're having a blast doing this. But yeah, that's it. Future giveaways, all that good stuff. It's been fun going down memory lane. So
yeah.
Have a great evening, guys.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.